Welcome to Geordie Rambles, the channel where I walk, talk and explore. I wasn't planning on filming a video this day, but the sun had come out for the first time in what felt like a few weeks, so I just had to get out there into the sunlight. Today I walked to Seaton Delaval Hall, Blyth Beach and Blyth Harbour, so quite a variety of scenery. From fields to an old estate to swooping sand dunes and harbour industry. The video was filmed on New Year's Eve 2025 going into 2026, so I reflect on the pressure this time of year often brings to people. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get more walks just like this one. I hope you enjoy. The camera isn't really picking it up, but just behind that telephone pole you can see like the turrets of Seaton Delaval Hall where I'm headed from my parents' house. I'm going to be basically going through those fields, through a bit of woods, then from Seaton Delaval Hall I will go left and basically head out onto the coast, which is over in that direction, which you can't see, but yeah, basically it's a big square. It's 1 degree today, so I am double layering socks. It's going to be a chilly one. It is so cold. It's the coldest I've seen it this winter yet, but I'd take it being this cold any day just to get that sunlight. Yeah, but it is chilly, so I'm just walking very fast just to try and get warmed up. Coal mining is a huge part of sort of northeastern Northumberland history, and here's a little memorial of it. We've arrived at Meggy's Burn Reservoir, about 15 minutes from my parents' house. As you can see, or you might not be able to tell it on the camera, but it's a perfect square shape. It's actually built on a former site of a coal mine apparently, and the ground had already been excavated and was deep, so they actually just turned it into a reservoir for everyone to use today. It's a wonderful area for fishing. As you can see, all the jetties there. Many a time I'll walk past and there'll be people on all these jetties fishing, and just a nice place for local people to come and just relax. It feels very tranquil. It feels a long way away from like the town centre, which isn't far, and it's wonderful. I sometimes find it a little bit eerie, but I find everything eerie. But I think the reason I find this eerie is because obviously it's man-made, and you know, almost the trees have been planted in a particular way and it all feels a bit sort of odd. Something feels off about it, but it's not. It's actually just really relaxing. As much as I love finding new routes and new places to go and find, you know, following a route or following a map even, there's something so nice about just getting up and going, and you know, I know where I am, I know which way I'm going. I feel like when you're on a walk and you go through a gate like that one you saw behind me, it means you're definitely out on a walk, if that makes sense. That sounds silly, but as soon as you go over like a stile or go through a kissing gate, it's like, yes, I'm properly out in the country now. Slightly silly, but you know. Also, the train you just saw is actually going along a brand new passenger line, which is now called the Northumberland line. Previously that was just freight trains, but yeah, there's now a passenger line running along there, which is quite exciting. It's just nice. It's nice when you hear about like railways opening and new stations. It's not something that's not heard of these days, to open a new railway line. So, and it's really helped when I've been visiting mum and dad. So easy to get to them now. Today I feel really at peace with things. I feel like I woke up and this huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And I've no idea why, like nothing's changed in my circumstances or anything like that. There's still lots going on in my life that has the potential to turn into something really stressful, particularly with work stuff at the minute. There's a chance that may go in a direction that could result in some quite stressful situations and money worries and lots of other things. But some days you wake up and you think things will be all right. One way or another, things will work themselves out, and you have to trust that and you have to believe in that. And today I can. Today I'd like, yeah, you know, it sounds slightly cheesy, but I often think like the universe will look out for you. If you look out for the universe will look out for you. That sort of law of whatever it's called. But no, I feel good today. And I don't know if it's because the sun's out. I know I've banged on about the sun being out, but honestly, I was like a child on Christmas Day this morning. I was beyond excited. It's been really grey for so long now, and I've seen the effects it's had on people. I've seen the effects it's had on sort of friends and family, and just you can feel, you know, in the wider world, not the wider world, but you know, people, stuff around me. But I feel okay today. And sometimes when this happens, I start getting anxious because I'm not feeling anxious. Oh, and I know how silly that sounds when you say it out loud, but it does. I can feel it. It's like the longer time goes on without me worrying, the more I'm like, feel like something like, why aren't you worrying? Why aren't you worrying? You know, it's like that should be the default, when obviously that's not the case. I've got a friend, not originally from the UK, who thinks we put benches in really funny places. So this one's for him, directly above a, you know, what does this road sign mean? Sharp bend ahead. Very bizarre. So I've actually come a different way. Apparently there's a church at the end of this road. Basically the bit of the walk I was doing was on a main road. Loads of walks end up on main roads. I'm sure I've already said it before, especially circular walks, but I'm just wondering if there's a more interesting way to get to the coast, you know, cutting in more inland and getting away from the road if I can. Let's wait and see. I can't believe I've never been here. It just shows like places you've been so many times. If you just be a bit more present and open your eyes, there's actually a lot more to explore. Here we are at Seaton Delaval Hall, an incredibly imposing site. Fantastic architecture, sort of slightly gothic looking, you know. Much of the interior of Seaton Delaval Hall actually burnt down in the 1800s, so it's a bit of a shell inside, and it's very, very, very heavily associated with ghost stories. There's all sorts of, you know, stories around its history and ghosts seen here, and whether you believe the stories or not, it definitely has a presence. I've done every version of New Year's Eve under the sun. I remember being a kid and being really excited, and it being about a large family and friends gatherings and lots of adults drinking and dancing and having a really good time, and it being the big party of the year. In the 90s, there was a real cultural shift towards New Year's Eve. It was a big party time. I've had years where I've gone to house parties as a teenager and loved it and had really good times. I've also, though, more so had really shite New Year's Eves. Like, I've had years where I felt so depressed I've just like closed the curtains and pretended it wasn't even happening and like tried to go to bed but get woken up by fireworks at midnight and feel really depressed and down and, you know, try to deny it. I've tried to do it peacefully. I've tried to just accept that it comes and goes, but sometimes when you don't do anything, then it feels sad. And so much of it, I think, is to do with like a societal pressure though. Like, essentially it's just another night and another day starting. It's just a time system that was invented is changing into the next bit. And when I think of it in those terms, I really relax. I'm like, it's just another day starting. There isn't like, there's no cosmic shift or anything like that. That seems to be the buzz that can seem to be created. So this year I'm doing it quite, me and my partner and my mum, we're going to go to the cinema and then go for a meal. and then maybe I might get some games out or something. I will stay up till midnight. Often, honestly, sometimes I'm so down, or sometimes I've actually been really ill, like I've always had a cold on New Year's Eve. And while that should have felt like an excuse not to indulge in New Year's Eve, it's felt like I just feel even worse. I just feel like everyone else is having fun and you're not. Even though so many people I speak to these days don't like New Year's Eve, it's not a day people like. New Year's Eve, yeah, not an evening or, thing to celebrate. And often people are quite tired after Christmas. But I just wondered what you think about New Year's Eve, and do you like to celebrate, or does anyone else find it depressing and find it a bit of an unhappy time? When I've had those years recently, I've tried to just accept that, okay, you're not feeling it, you're feeling down, and that's okay. So I'm just rolling with it year on. I don't know how to do New Year's Eve. I've got no idea. I still haven't learned, but I'll keep trying. And I think the main thing for me is just remembering it is just another day coming tomorrow. There's not some sort of huge cosmic shift in the atmosphere that sometimes it feels like there is. And if you're not making a big fuss out of it, then you're sort of missing out, or you're a loner, or you're miserable. That's not the case. Although I do know what it feels like to feel like that, and I do. Even tonight, it might end up going to midnight, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't do anything, and it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, as I say, I'll capture a bit of footage on the beach, but I'm generally just going to get my head down and walk because it is just so windy. It literally feels like getting blasted in the face by sea air. Finally worked up enough of a sweat to take my hat off. Getting a bit too warm now. It's high tide at the minute. Pretty sure the tide's going out, but this is a huge beach, and when the tide's out it becomes even more expansive and wide. Beautiful. Come underneath the pier. One thing I've really noticed in this video is how much more present I've been. Like when you've got a calm mind and your mind isn't racing at 100 miles an hour about things, it's amazing how much more of the world you see. Was going to go to the end of the pier, but as you can see there's a few people fishing out there, and I just thought I'd rather let them be there and enjoy the peace and quiet rather than me barging in and start talking to me camera about how peaceful and lovely it is, because it is really nice out there, but I want them to enjoy that moment. Final location for the walk is Blyth Harbour. This was once one of the busiest ports in the country, exporting coal from the north of England all over the world. It's quiet now, there is still stuff happening, but it's strange to imagine this being one of the busiest ports in the country. But, less than 100 years ago, that was the case. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there because the final part of the walk essentially goes through a new build estate back to Mum and Dad's house, which would just be a pretty average end to such a wonderful walk. I've really enjoyed this one, and I'm so glad you've been able to come along with me and see it all on such a lovely day. Please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more walks just like this one. Also, let me know what you got up to on New Year's Eve, and let me know if you struggle with that low mood around the new year and how you've managed it or what you've done in the past. I'd really like to hear it. Until next time, I'll see you later.